officially is a rivalry again after Alabama had owned them for 15 years. And to see Tennessee withstand this Alabama storming back and yet come out with a victory in the manner in which they accomplished this glorious win was amazing.
All great stories have great characters, and this is no exception. Hendon Hooker was fabulous. 21 of 30, 385 yards, 5 touchdown passes, but at his absolute best, with 15 seconds left, hitting 2 big-time in routes to get themselves in position to kick the game-winning field goal. Jalen Hyatt catches 5 touchdown passes in this game. That's the SEC record. I mean, it's a phenomenal performance against what we said before the game, one of the top defenses in all the land. But I do have to say this, and as good as Nick Saban is, there was a calculated mistake here. They should have been running the ball when they got to the 32-yard line to force Tennessee to use their timeouts. But that just diminishes from what we're watching on the screen, because that should be the...
I think what I need you to do, Rick, is draw up a play to get these uprights out of the stadium at this point.
They got to bring them down. They got to bring them down a little bit more, I believe, before they can carry them out of that stadium. But to your point, Rick, there were mistakes made on both sides of this ball game. You see them, they got their cigars ready. I said about 100,000 cigars are in that stadium currently, the ritual after this, following this rivalry ball game. But there were mistakes that were made, and that goes to the ebb and flow of these rivalry games, whether it's on the field, whether it's on the sideline, and coaches mismanaging the ball game in certain instances. That's part of it. I think you expect that, especially when you have two teams as closely aligned as these are.
The Masters has a green jacket. Wimbledon has that beautiful plate, right? We've seen the Lombardi Trophy for the Super Bowl. Now we see goalposts, because they have slayed the dragon. They have finally beaten Alabama.
And let me also say, you mentioned Hooker's numbers. Bryce Young coming back. There was no pitch count for this guy.
Well, he had 52 passes.
52 pass attempts, well over 400 yards passing, and he looked as if he hasn't missed any time. And both of these young men are NFL quality quarterbacks.
And what a difference, though, with where this game could have ended for Tennessee if Reichert makes his field goal and Tennessee has to start from deeper in their own territory. And if there had been less time on the clock for them to do this, maybe they wouldn't feel like they were back. And now the Vols can say they are back. They got over the Florida hump earlier this year at home. They're still going to have a trip to Georgia in a few weeks. They're going to deal with Kentucky as well in the SEC East. But there is no greater feeling than what they're experiencing right now in Knoxville, guys.
No greater feeling, absolutely. And look at, this is a team that has a great quarterback, a quarterback that understands the offense. He ran for over 50 yards, was there when they needed him as a runner. He understands, he is unbelievable poise in the pocket, and a gifted crew of wide receivers. Yes. Remember, Cedric Tillman didn't play in this game. When he comes back and is healthy, this is going to look very much like the 2019 LSU team that had Joe Burrow and that gifted group of receivers. They're going to be hard to handle.
No doubt. And defensively, that's still a work in progress currently for Tim Banks, the aggressive defensive coordinator who came over in 2021 from Penn State. But these guys, they flew around. They made plays when a play needed to be made, stopping Alabama on that last drive, forcing the 50-yard kick by Reichert. And, of course, he missed that kick. So they went out and they inflicted upon Alabama what Alabama had intended for them. And I can imagine, I know how they feel in that locker room when your arch rival has owned you. Now, I never had one own Eugene for 15 years, and UCLA never had one that owned it for 15 years. But 5 to 6 years, yeah, that seems like a lifetime. Just imagine what 15 years feels like.
The party is just beginning in Knoxville. The cigars are getting lit up. And a tradition that exists only in this Bama-Tennessee game, although we've seen players adopt it, including Joe Burrow. And this game reminded us of LSU at Alabama from a few years ago. But one order of business here, Brian Jones.
Should I pass that over to you?
You pass it over. You picked Alabama, as many...
Well earned, my friend.
Thank you.
You picked Tennessee.
Surgeon General, I tell you what.
I'm actually told we can't smoke it in the studio.
Well, I understand that. I understand the rules of the house. I wouldn't do that.
What an epic game for college football in total and for the SEC. Certainly congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers.
And as Gary said, Alabama still has everything in front of them. This is not a divisional game. Mississippi State next up, at Ole Miss in a few weeks, LSU in between, so we're still just the third Saturday of October. And, of course, we're going to have a lot of highlights as we continue here. But as we go to break, let's take a look at some of today's best moments from elsewhere around the country, although nothing beats what we saw in Knoxville today.
Army got back to rushing the rock.
So did Michigan, Illinois as well. Ole Miss over 400 yards on the ground against Auburn today.
Texas almost tripped up again by Iowa State.
Illinois, Chase Brown even caught a touchdown.
That feeling that just performing miracles there in Champaign.
TCU with a win in overtime against Oklahoma State. I don't know what that was a second ago. And, yeah, we did see Ben David have that reaction a few times.
What's wrong with you coaches?
Lane almost did a headstand.
Michigan State found his offense.
Man, oh man. And here it is one more time. The loaf of bread for the win. More highlights in a moment.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you, saving you hundreds, even thousands with Inflation Buster. That means more mini vacations, a lot more lattes, more date nights. Now imagine if rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase and you get exclusive savings when you refinance at that new lower rate. More cash in your pocket. Save when you buy today and refinance tomorrow. Visit inflationbuster.com to get started.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better brace yourself because this right here is a Papa John's Papa Bowl. No crust, just piping hot toppings and melty cheese in an oven-baked bowl. Better ingredients, better pizza, now in a bowl, Papa John's.